Hey YouTube, this is Rachel.
And Yuli.
We are back again here to talk about the stimulation process of the IVF. So we'll just start off talking about when we stimulated and then where we injected it, side effects, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll wrap it up from there. Okay, so once this whole process started, we ordered a bunch of medication. And we got a huge box at our house, and we knew it had finally arrived. Some of it had to be refrigerated. Yeah, some of it had to be refrigerated. And so we just waited, and then once our the docs gave us a go to do the stimulation, they told us, you know, what to take and when. We were really confused because we had a whole bunch of medications, probably like, how many do we have? Maybe about 10?
I don't know. I'll post a picture in here really quick so you guys can see all the meds that we had.
Yeah, but it was a lot. So they told us that they would give us a call and tell us what to take and how much of that to take. And so they did that. And our protocol was taking Gonal.
Gonal F?
Yeah, Gonal F. And then we took 225... What is that? cc's? No.
Units?
225 units. 225 cc's would be insane. But I don't have any of that left. We took all of that, so we actually threw it away. I'm sorry that we did that, so we couldn't, we can't show it to you. But it was actually a pen, and if you sing false stem, it's just very similar to that. You just kind of turn a knob at the end of it, and it will make sure that you only get that amount of medication. You put a little needle on the end. It's very small. So I think it was similar to this in length, and it goes into your abdomen, just below the belly button. I think they said 2 fingers down from the belly button. And then that was that.
We also took,
I don't know, 15 units of the low dose HCG. So this low dose HCG right here, and it's in a vial, and you'll just draw it.
Yeah, and I mean it was this. Yeah, so this is 50 units. So just 15 of this. I don't know if you guys can see the 15. It won't focus. Anyway, we took 15 of that, and then the 225 of the Gonal F, and that's just kind of all we took at the beginning, right?
Yeah, we had to take it between 4 and 6. And for the process of stimulation, I think it was just to make sure the eggs were, obviously be stimulated, which would mean that they would grow. So the eggs that were there would actually get bigger and bigger inside of us, and then possibly reproduce or produce more eggs along the way from there. So we took that every day from 4 to 6, and then what did we say? We started this on a Tuesday, and then we went on Friday, right, for our first doctor's appointment.
The other stuff that we did take was prenatal vitamins, and then we also took doxycycline for, I don't know, infection. Is that what they told us?
Yeah, so throughout the whole thing, since we're sticking needles in us and all this kind of stuff like that, they want us to have antibiotics and take that throughout the whole process just to make sure we don't get infected, like she said.
And so we took that twice a day. Yeah, right from the beginning. And like she was saying, we started on a Tuesday, and then our first appointment wasn't until Friday is when we went in.
Yeah.
And we had heard a lot about all these side effects. We actually both took off from work because we really thought we were going to be super hormonal and just nuts. We were scared. One of us wasn't going to make it out of the house because everybody was talking about how horrible hormones are just in general, and we were both going to be on them. So
when we say horrible, we're talking about like mood swings and hot flashes and just all throughout miserable. There's all kinds of side effects. We looked it up on every single website we could find, the possible side effects, and it sounded crazy, So we thought that one of us was going to end up with a murder charge, and like she said, not make it out of the house. So it didn't really happen that bad for us. We might have had a couple of spells where, but we noticed it when we did it, and so it was kind of easy to bounced back from it.
We just cried about it.
Yeah, we did cry several times. So, I mean, the mood swings, yeah, I think they're pretty mild, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to anything anybody had ever told us or anything we ever read. It was definitely not like that at all.
Yeah,
so we were definitely glad for that.
Yeah, so the injections themselves, they didn't really hurt too bad for me. I mean, they hurt for Yuli a little bit more than me. I don't know if I'm just a bad sticker or what, but...
Yeah, we did everything everybody on YouTube said. They're like, put in the ice pack. So we tried an ice pack, and that didn't really work. Or they said leave the meds out for an hour and warm them up before you did it, and then that we found didn't really make a difference. It actually, for us, hurt less if we just did it right out of the refrigerator. So, I mean, I guess it just kind of depends on your body and what your body wants to do. Sometimes it would sting really bad, and then sometimes it wouldn't. So. The only thing we both did have was a lot of bruising, where we had all the injections. But obviously, I mean, you're injecting yourself every day. So,
one point we did actually up the dose of Gonal-F from 225 to 300 in the middle of the process. So, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. So then we ended up taking, at a certain point, we started taking something called, what's this called? Ganirelix, yes, and it's just. It comes just like this, so all you have to do is literally just take the top off, and it's just a very small needle, and it also goes in the abdomen. Yeah. So, and the reason for the Ganirelix is so that it will stop your ovulation, and that way the eggs that you're growing will not, come out, and they won't, drop, or you won't lose them. So it'll stop the whole ovulation from happening and allow you to continue to grow the eggs without ovulation. So yeah, I think once we started taking this, the Ganirelix, we went to the doctor every day, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So every single morning we were in the doctor's office. When you go in, you might have about, I think you had how many? Over 20
follicles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not at the beginning. At the beginning, I only had maybe like 14. Like 7 follicles on one side and then 8 follicles on the other side.
Okay, so once the follicles are the size that they need to be, the doctor told us to take an injection to start the trigger, which will make you ovulate. That way they can retrieve the eggs from you. So those two, we have 2 medications for that, and we paid for both of them because we didn't know which one we were going to take. One of them is called Novarel, which is HCG. Is it focusing? Okay. And then another one is Leuprolide, which is Lupron. So the trigger, we took it 36 hours before because 36 hours before our appointment to get the follicles taken out. And then this HCG right here is actually, it's a powder, and then you have this liquid right here, and you put the liquid into the powder, and then you will draw from this vial right here. The HCG has, I guess, a higher risk of the female hyperstimulating, which would mean that, what exactly you want to talk about? Which means that their eggs would build up fluid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No,
I think that their follicles, builds up air and fluid, right? Builds up air and fluid, and then once they get to if it gets big enough and it builds fluid, it could run into your abdomen. So it could potentially be serious. So I actually didn't take the HCG. I took the Leuprolide or the Lupron, and I took that right in the abdomen, right? It was in the abdomen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it didn't hurt at all. And then you want to talk about what you took?
Yeah. Originally we were both on the same track. Obviously, we both started on the same day, and we were supposed to have retrieval on the same day. Once we started going in there, the doctor saw that Rachel's follicles were growing faster than mine were. So they had, at one point, probably about halfway, she went up to Ganirelix at 300, and then I stayed at 225 for a little bit longer. And we ended up starting the same time, but then ending up like 3 or 4 days separate.
Yeah.
And so I had the Lupron initially 36 hours before they were going to do the retrieval, and then the next day they called and they said that my levels weren't where they're supposed to be at, and that I had to take the HCG. So I took both the Lupron and the HCG, and at that point, I think I cried. Yeah, I thought I was done with shots, and not that it hurt, but it was just I was really sore, and by that point, I had like 20 plus follicles. I also have fibroids, so it was just getting really tight in there. So it was getting hard to walk and all that stuff. And I was just like, I just want them out. I don't want any more shots. I just want to get them all out.
Yeah.
But they were just like, okay. I ended up going 3 days past the day that they originally had set up. So I took medications for a lot longer. Not a lot longer, but longer than I would have liked. So
yeah. Once you start taking the shots repetitively like that, you're going to want to stop at some point, because it does get a little bit much, because you're taking a lot of shots in the stomach. So yeah, it is exciting once you get to stop taking those. Yeah.
And the only other side effects I think that we got was definitely the bloating. I was really just bloated. I felt really heavy in my abdomen area. It was hard really to sit up. We kind of had to like sit back on our couch.
Recline it back.
Yeah. Standing for too long or walking.
Made me dizzy.
Yeah. It was just really hard to walk for too long. We would get really tired and our abdomen would hurt, or we need to take a nap or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we did get pretty tired. We did find ourselves tired a lot.
Yeah. But we didn't have any issues. I know we had, I'd seen some YouTube videos and some people said that they had issues sleeping and stuff. We didn't have any issues sleeping whatsoever.
I don't think we had a lot. I mean, like she said, walking, you could kind of feel it when you took a step and you hit the ground. You could kind of like feel it in your abdomen area that it was full, and you could actually feel the steps hitting the ground actually would come up and almost like touch your abdomen. That's what it felt like to me anyways. So
my lower back was hurting too, like right there and towards the end. But it wasn't none of that happened, I think, until probably halfway when we probably started feeling any of the symptoms. Other than that, we were just taking the shots, getting, having a little bruising where we took the shots. But other than that, I mean, I think we went like a good 4 days probably without any symptoms whatsoever. Yeah. So we were like, this is going to be so easy. And then the later it got, kind of the worse it got. So
I think it was better for us too, because we were told, we cannot, push or pull or lift more than 10 pounds, and we're supposed to, not stand for a prolonged period of time and all this kind of stuff. So that was actually in our doctor's excuse. So we really, since we really want to do this and we spent, all the money on it and invested all this into it, we really want to play by the rules. So, shout out to The Real Days of Our Lives. They are one of our subscribers on YouTube, and we're subscribed to them also. We just found out they're also trying to conceive, and they live in our same community, so we have family in more ways than one around here. So we actually got to meet today, so that was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. And
to everybody else that's on their journey too, we are always watching, everybody's videos, and we get excited about seeing where everybody else is at, and kind of even when they're further along in their journey than we are, it gets us excited too when we get to that point. So, yeah.
And even those that aren't yet trying to conceive actively, or just think that they might be, or just those of you that watch our videos and support us, we really appreciate that, because that really means a lot to us. Yeah. All right. So until next time, which hopefully will be sooner than later, we'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.